Hey fam, it's Chelsea
and Chris
of LBCPartyofFive, and welcome to today's episode of Chelsea and Chris on This, a podcast all about Black love, acceptance, and support,
while promoting awareness and understanding of the transgender community.
To keep up to date on what's happening next, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at LBCPartyofFive. We hope you enjoy the vibe, so let's get right into it.
We're back, y'all, and it's been a minute. So we need to do a little catch up before we continue here.
Yeah, we've been doing life.
A lot.
We've been doing a lot of life.
A lot has changed.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to get too full on into it because that's not part of this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But we've been a little MIA because Chris has been worked like a slave. Would you call it something different?
I would say that I was at a job that required a lot of overtime, I should say. And it got to a point where the girls were just like, what is this? No, this is not working for us. And really advocating for their needs and their space, and my body started falling apart. And it just wasn't the right fit for the family or for me. So I changed that.
Right. And that is part of the reason why we were coming through with this episode, mm-hmm. because we've learned through this whole journey. Mm-hmm. I've become a life coach, like officially, mm-hmm. and
don't don't just slide that in there. I've just become a life coach. You're a life coach. That's huge.
Okay, but I'm just saying, mm-hmm. he was one of my clients. Okay, this new position that he was able to, and new career that he was able to embark mm-hmm. on, we literally manifested this.
Right.
So just everything that we learn along the way, we like to share it, and mm-hmm. we could be considered old heads because we are. We are.
That generational gap is making itself known in many, many ways. Did you know that CMP means "call me, please"?
No.
See. The gap.
Okay, but that's not what that's not what I was hoping.
I'm saying we old.
Mm-hmm. But in our years, we like to share our wisdom and just mm-hmm. To help the next one, because if you're in a position, whether it's a job or a relationship or
any situation,
when it's not serving you, it's time to go.
Yeah, and not to cut you off, but with me in particular, it just really started with vices. Yes. Right? So it really started with vices, and then when I started to pick up on that, I was like, okay, well, let's turn down the vices. But then it was like, my body was like, no, if we're not doing vices, we're doing knee pain and lower back pain and feet pain. I was like twisted for a whole month. I couldn't walk. I had ankle braces. I was a mess.
He was wearing Skechers, y'all.
Why you do me like that? I'm the Skechers guy now. I'm gonna say with pride. Dad shoes.
But I'm saying upgraded. It wasn't at first. It wasn't by choice. That was a necessity.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Yeah, I did go from Nike to Skechers. I did do that. So. So when you
hate on the Skechers.
So when you start going to Skechers, not by choice, readjust your life. Like, let's reassess some things.
Right.
Yeah.
So you just have to listen to your body, watch for the red flags, because mm-hmm. when you're outgrowing something, your body tells you, and the universe, I feel like mm-hmm. there are flags that you can look out for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say this, that my red flags, besides my body falling apart on me, was you calling me out on certain things. Like, are you good? Are you okay? I noticed that you've been drinking more, or I noticed you've been more irritable more. So when I hear Chelsea say the same thing more than twice, I'm like, oh, because she's a Libra and you know how that go. But, I was like, oh, why is she, oh, you're right. Why am I, X, Y, Z. So that's kind of how I knew I was definitely not on the right path.
And it's never, like, you got stuck in the line of thinking of, well, this is what I've been doing for so long, so this is just what it is. And that's not the case. It is never too late to start something new.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's never too late. You know what I mean? Like, mm-hmm. that's the main message that I want to give off, because
it is never too late. It's never too late to transition any from any place in your life ever. Like it's never too late. There was a point I wanted to make and I lost it, but it's
we
okay.
keep doing this on the fly.
I know, and then we're like, oh, what are we saying? But no, it's never too late to change your life situation. If you feel in your spirit and your body, from your partner, from your friends, that you're changing, like you're not the same type of person, your aura is different, your energy is different. Listen to the people who matter in your life, because they're seeing things that you may not be able to see because like you're in it. Oh, it was about unlearning the stories that you tell yourself.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to bring it on. See, slow brain, but it comes back. I was in the mindset of, and then this is the whole intersectionality with being trans and gender roles and all that other stuff, and stuff that you pick up as a kid into your life. So I was under the guise of, or the thinking of, I'm the man of the house, so I need to provide for my family.
And yeah, that's nice, but
right.
I can also provide. Why does it have to be all on your shoulders?
Right. And for it's uncomfortable to be in a position where, you know, I have a sugar mama.
But I also didn't know that this was your internal thought process either until we really started to. That's why I love having my circle and just being able to, obviously with my partner as well, you need someone that holds you accountable and knows you, because you still would have been, like, I can't even imagine it wouldn't have worked, period.
What?
The whole, you continuing where you were at, because I know you trying not to say what it was, you continuing where you were at was not going to work long term.
Absolutely not. But I felt that day one, and I tried to...
Even though you've been there for 14 years. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't going to continue.
Yeah, like, I knew immediately that it wasn't the right fit, but, again, I was trying to provide for my family, which I did, but it came at a cost. I did sacrifice a piece of myself that I'll never get back, and I'm forever changed, but I'm trying to reclaim some of that back. So I will say that. But it's nice having a sugar mama.
But he is back to work. You had a nice, almost 3 months?
No, I had, it was that
3-month break.
Yeah, it was,
well, not break, you were
rough.
doing with things.
It was rough. It was rough. My body was not happy. It was rough. But
look at you now.
Look at me now. When you you kind of focus on what's important to you, and I kind of just put that out there in the universe as like a whim. Like, oh, I want $1 million, and I got it. Not $1 million, but whatever I manifested.
Exactly what I had him tell me specifically what it is that you saw yourself. And it wasn't anything like specific, but it was just like, I want to be able to do this. I want to not have any mandates. I want to not, not have to commute too far. And but it checked every single box.
Yeah.
Every single box.
And therapy helped too, as well. My therapist really broke it down to like my childhood, my parents, as to why I was under my belief system of what my role was in this relationship, in this family. So, once I did the work and worked through that, then I was able to come to a place of acceptance and manifestation. So, yeah.
And we've been living on, like, ever since, like, I can just see, I'm so excited to see where this, like, how far you're able to take this.
But it was like a collective LBC, like, I feel like we're like in a stage of healing, like all of us. Like Carter's homeschooled now.
That's another thing that's been.
Yeah, so I feel like
different transitions.
Yeah, I feel like collectively, like we've kind of hit like a reset button on everything, and I feel like we're moving in the right direction, which is nice.
Yes, so hopefully that will allow us to be more consistent.
Hopefully, it
is going to allow us to be more consistent. Because I say that so many times, and I don't mean to like let things fall off, but it's like there's always, life
be lifing.
Be lifing. There's always something that happens, always someone that needs you, or and then things just like time passes, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't post nothing in a month, like, but it's not because I don't want to. Be with y'all and interact with y'all, because I love it. It is really something that brings me so much joy, and I love interacting, and I love being of service to people. That's one of my passions, is just to see. It makes me happy to see other people grow and be happy
and do well,
right?
Be successful. Yeah.
I.e., why I became a life coach.
Right. So how is that going? Being a life coach, how does that feel?
And that actually is also in part because of my personal therapist. Because at some point, no, the last time that I spoke to her, she was like, "No, this is something that I see you doing. This is something that you need to do." So when she told me and put the fire under my, I entered into another class. I took a certification class, and here we are.
And I'm living proof. Not only am I a client, I could be your first testimony. But yeah, life is good.
Life is good. And this is something that y'all can do with yourself or with your significant other. You need doing, regular check-ins are always helpful.
We've always done that. I want to say since 2009, we've done that. Every 3 months, we kind of just sit down, we check in. We use his needs, her needs. We use that checklist. It's a quiz. And then we kind of see where we're at.
Hold each other accountable.
Hold each other accountable.
And stay positive, because when you're putting out good energy, that's what comes back to you. Right,
but always kind of being on the lookout for signs that maybe something's off with your partner. We've done that several times. You were in a pretty bad place.
One time.
A couple of years ago, and I was like, "Are you okay?"
But I'm pretty sure everybody was. This was at the height of
COVID.
The pandemic.
Yes, yes. It was. Yeah.
I may have been adding some shots to my coffee in the morning.
Yeah, Chelsea was in a place, and I was like, "Are you okay?" She's like, "I'm not." And I'm like, "You were not okay. We're gonna make some changes," and we did. And you came back. But
it's part of the journey.
It is part of the journey. I guess we both have fallen off the tracks and gotten back on.
But that's what got me back into therapy. That's what got me. So right. Sometimes those, the struggles have to happen in order to get you to where you need to be.
Right. But it's good that we have a partnership where, hey, I don't feel so good. And it's yeah, I noticed. And then you're like, well, what are we going to do about it? And then we fix it, and then we come back even stronger. So that's good. That we could just keep evolving and adding more tools to our toolbox to be successful.
I like that.
So we're going to end this here.
Yes. So stay tuned for the next episode. We are so glad to be back, and we'll see you next time. Love you guys.
All right, bye. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Chelsea and Chris on This.
If you enjoyed the vibe and you'd like to help support the podcast, please subscribe, share, or post about it on social media. To keep up with us and all the latest, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook at LBCPartyofFive.
There you will find more about us, connect with our community, and learn how to submit your own questions.
Or meet with us one-on-one. And if you made it this far, welcome to the Vibe Tribe. Thanks again.
And we'll see you next time to check the vibe with LBC Party of Five.